start this conversation. So we are all kind of coming in on a journalist aspect here, right? So my name is Matthew Turndrup. I am a VR journalist and content creator, and I've been just diving headfirst and immersing myself into this like wildfire that VR has started to take off. So I have met these guys like in the most crazy, awesome places. So we wanted to get them together and just kind of talk about what the future of journalism looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a short introduction where I met these people, and then I'm going to let them introduce themselves a little bit more. So I'm going to start off to the side with Demetrius. He's actually a new friend. We work on a secret project together, and we won't talk about the specifics necessarily on that, but we're going to get a nice broad conversation going on some of the stuff. He does like filmmaking and documentary work. He has been to Nepal and covered the earthquake after that whole disaster happened with like a 360-degree camera with Verts, I believe, was the camera, and helped the UN a little bit record that. And then we have Robert Hernandez, and he's teaching a class coming up for journalists for virtual reality, and he has also done some augmented reality stuff as well. So we're going to get a nice education side, and he's a really great, engaging speaker. So we have Will Mason. So Will Mason is editor-in-chief at Upload VR. If you haven't heard of Upload, you got to check them out. Awesome, great stories. I also write for them a little bit as well, and he helps scout me to do some writing for him. So really appreciative of that opportunity. And then we keep seeing her around all the time. And then Nani, I see her everywhere. Her use of force. A demo is over at the other building. You guys got to check it out. Really powerful stuff. And I did a short interview with her at Indiecade and just got to know her. She's really sweet. Everybody on here is really honest and really wants to help push the medium forward. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to talk about the dark side a little bit as well. So I want to just thank the panelists. So everybody give them a round of applause for being here. Okay, great. So Nani, just start and tell them what I didn't tell them.
So I think the best way to kind of tell you guys what we do, and then also what you can see there is if you can see a video. And it's just a short 4-minute video that BuzzFeed did when we came and brought our gear and set it up for them. So if we can go ahead and roll that nice and big for everybody. We got audio?
Alright, we're getting the audio working.
So basically this is the story of a guy named Anastasio Hernandez Rojas. There we go.
I don't even know what these are, I guess cameras?
Looks like somebody's gonna shock me.
That guy's holding a lightsaber back there. I think virtual reality really is like the next big thing. I think it's the new video game, or whatever that means.
It's so weird, there's like all these people and I'm like, what is about to happen?
I just looked at my hair, pretty good, right?
Oh, got it.
Whoa!
This is going to simulate a cell phone, so it's going to be when you press this button here, and you hold it up in front of you, the cell phone will appear, and you'll have 60 seconds to record whatever you want before your battery dies.
Oh, I see. Oh my god. That's even crazier.
Alright, so there's a bunch of cops here. They're like standing around, something's going on.
Oh, right here. That's not cool.
On the other side of the fence, there's all these people just like kicking and beating this man and he's screaming.
Look at this, and nobody's doing anything about it. Of course nobody's doing anything about it, right? Of course. Because that's what people do, they just watch. It's kind of messed up.
Oh, here we go.
I couldn't tell before, but I think he's handcuffed.
I'm looking above, I'm seeing the horror.
Oh! We're recording you!
Already not moving, but there's like 5 dudes beating him.
Same thing, they just are not stopping. I don't know. I mean, I can't believe that like is real.
Did not expect a recreation of a real life beating.
So I thought it was going to be some sort of possibly some entertaining game. That was not the case.
You feel kind of like helpless and isolated.
Hopefully in that situation you actually would be able to like somehow stop it, but I do think like the next best thing is recording it.
Yeah, I wonder what I would really do. Like, I know you want to say stuff, it's okay to say stuff, but it's like, I don't have the power to go and arrest the police. Maybe that's problematic.
I think when you see something like that, you're like, wow, that was horrible, but at least like the one comfort that I had is like, the United States justice system will do something about it, and like people that do bad things get punished for that, and then like what we've been seeing the past few weeks is like sometimes that doesn't happen.
The thing that was really sort of disorienting is that it wasn't one cop doing it and his partner, it was all these other cops sort of standing around watching.
I think every police officer in the United States probably needs to experience what I just experienced.
I think everyone should give this a shot.
And it should not only be for entertainment. I think there should be a whole universe of stuff that we can use this for. And this is definitely something I didn't consider at all. And it's really effective.
So, you can pull that down. That story about this guy, Ancestor Hernandez Rojas, it was covered by regular press, but it never really made it on people's radar screen. Now that BuzzFeed video, admittedly, it's an interesting bridge, but it's been seen by nearly 750,000 people. It's over 700,000 views, and pages about race in America. And just the other day, when we were doing this piece, we would hand out, we let people, they would want to, what happened, and we'd give people cards and they could write to their senators if they wanted to. We'd say, like, these are the officers, you can investigate them if you want to yourself. Ways to kind of open up the accuracy of what we're reporting in the VR space. But just the other day, the individual in charge of Homeland Security said that many more, they were going to double the number of investigative officers to investigate the corruption and brutality of officers, Border Patrol officers who have been beating up and killing migrants who are trying to get in the country. So anyway, we've seen some changes since this piece came out, but it was a really interesting process to think that this piece was going to get way more attention than any traditional media approach to the story. So anyway, that gives a good idea of what I do. I've been doing VR journalism. I come from a traditional journalism background. I was a correspondent for Newsweek. I made a number of documentary films. And 8 years ago, I started applying gaming technologies to telling the news. And obviously with fantastic rise in technology with mobile phones, we're seeing the same commensurate rise in the ability to use technologies to do VR stories. So it's an incredible platform for telling these pieces, and to me the most intense and emotional thing. And I'll leave with one other thing. Project Syria, which is also here, and I'll show you a trailer before I go. We took it to the Victoria and Albert Museum in London last summer, and we had a 5-day run, and it wasn't advertised. Yet at the end of that 5 days, for people who came and did the piece, they just happened to walk into the museum and were wandering around, and then they suddenly saw this, weird lights, and they decided to try the piece. So, we're talking about the most renowned museums in the world. People come from all over the globe.